Hello guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I have actually accumulated quite a few books recently over the past week, 2 weeks, and I thought it was about time that I did a book haul, a collective book haul. Give you a little update on some of the new books that are on my TBR, and also quite a few of these books are proofs as well, so it just means that I can let you guys know what books are coming out soon and if there's anything you might fancy adding on to your to buy list. So most of these are ones that I was actually sent, which I literally cannot even believe I'm saying that. That is just so surreal to me, honestly. So I have some that I've been sent, some that I actually went to my first book event recently and I was lucky enough to be given some proofs from there, and then also a couple that I have actually bought recently. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it because I think we have like more than 20 books to get through. I'm gonna start off with the book event. The book event that I went to was the Bloomsbury Flower Show summer event, and basically they just want to celebrate all the best kind of blooms, because Bloomsbury had recently come out in summer and that were also about to come out. So I literally got this whole tote full of books, which I honestly feel so lucky. Could not believe when they handed me this, honestly. And we have so many amazing proofs in here. So the first one is Tart by Becky Jane Crosley. This one looks so fun. The author was actually at the event, which is so fun, and I had a really nice chat with her, and she just seems so lovely, and this is her debut book as well. This is a YA queer coming of age. And the way that Becky was talking about it, she was saying that it was very heartwarming and a lot about self-discovery, and it was just the book that she wished that she'd had when she was younger, which I just think is so lovely. And we basically follow Libby, whose life is turned upside down when a video of her boyfriend cheating on her goes viral the same night that he gets into a really serious bike accident and ends up in a coma. And I think she does a lot of self-reflecting, self-discovery, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this cover. I just love it, the colours and everything I love. Okay, and then we have Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. This one is a dark academia romantasy. I love the sound of that. I feel like I'm really getting into dark academia with other genres that aren't thrillers, because I'm only used to dark academia with thrillers. But I recently read a dark academia with romance, which was Nightshade by Autumn Woods. Loved that, absolutely loved that. So this really appeals to me because it's dark academia with romantasy. It's enemies to lovers. I believe that Viola has some deadly shadow magic that is banned, but when it's discovered that she has this magic, she's basically sentenced to death. Somebody is sent to kill her, so it's like a hunted and hunter dynamic, which is really fun. Very excited for this one, and I really feel like I need more romances, fantasy books on my TBR, so this is great. This is great for me. Then we have Revolve by Bal Cabra. This is the third one in the Off Ice series. And I read Collide last year and I did enjoy that one. And then the second one came out, which I think is called Spiral. And I just never got around to purchasing that one, but it does look really good and it does intrigue me. But this one especially intrigues me because it's a sports romance. We have a hockey player, Dylan, who has recently been kicked off his hockey team for reckless behaviour. And then we have figure skater Sierra, who has been trying to get back onto the ice after a really bad accident that she had. This just looks right up my street. I love a sports romance. I feel like I haven't read one of those in a while actually, so this is literally perfect going with my TBR. And I already really like the kind of setup of them two and the dynamic that is there, because I just feel like he's gonna help her get back onto the ice. Look, I'm already sold, I'm already sold. And then we have Make Me a Monster. This one I'm so excited for. This is a YA horror with elements inspired by Frankenstein, and I read Frankenstein last year and I do really like the story of Frankenstein. So this one really intrigues me. I'm so excited to read this. Probably closer to like Halloween time. I think this is going to be a perfect read. And this one follows a mortician's assistant who works in her parents' funeral home business, and she realises one day that the dead aren't staying dead. What do you mean? What do you mean? And it says on the front, dead bodies tend to open their mouths if they aren't sewn shut. Stop it. Stop it right now. And I think there's also kind of like a thriller mystery element to it as well, because she goes on to discover all these secrets surrounding the family business. Love already. Next we have 7 Rules for a Perfect Marriage by Rebecca Reed. This one follows Jessica and Jack, who are basically this kind of perfect social media couple, and they're kind of seen as the perfect couple with the perfect relationship, but that's maybe not the case behind closed doors because they're having their own struggles through their marriage. And the vibe that I get is that it's them kind of working through that, I think. And it's a contemporary romance domestic fiction type book. And then we have Among the Burning Flowers, which I believe is the prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree. This one kind of gives a bit of background before the tragic events of The Priory of the Orange Tree and everything that happens in that book. I haven't read that one, so I don't actually know too much about this world or about this prequel or anything, but I know that it's a fantasy with dragons, which what more could you ask for? Next, we have Judy Chan is Dead. This one just sounds so interesting. We basically have Judy Chan, who lives this kind of ordinary life, and she has a twin sister who is this big social media star, and her twin sister actually dies, and Judy Chan ends up taking her place and effectively pretending to be her sister. So her whole life kind of changes because she's gone from living this very ordinary life with a very ordinary job to being this big kind of influencer. And it's a psychological thriller, so I feel like Julie Chan is gonna uncover some secrets behind her sister's kind of social media life. This is also one that I've heard a lot of good things about, so I'm very excited for this one. And then we have A Dance of Lies, which is a fantasy romance. Again, very happy to have another romancy on my TBR. This says it's a slow burn romancy, which I love a slow burn. And our main character in this used to be a dancer until she was framed for murder by the king. And after putting her in this position, he then makes a deal with her that if she becomes kind of his personal spy, then he will grant her her freedom. I'm intrigued by this one. It also says there's a rivalry between brothers and that she's caught in the middle of it. So I don't know whether that's kind of giving love triangle situation. If she survives, she must decide who to trust, who to fight for, and how much of her soul she's willing to damn in the process. Sounds good, sounds good. And then last but not least, from the Bloomsbury event, we have Aftertaste, which honestly sounds unlike anything that I've read. This is a literary fiction with elements of magical realism in there. We basically follow our main character, who is a chef who can summon spirits through the food that he cooks. And he goes on to open a restaurant that basically reunites the living with their loved ones, who are essentially ghosts, and they become reunited through a shared meal, which I think is such a lovely concept and also just so unique and, like I said, unlike anything that I've read. I believe that there's a bit of a subplot of a romance in here from what I gathered from the summary, because he goes on to meet this party psychic who also has her own little special connection to the afterlife. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this one. Concept just sounds so unique and I'm here for it. Okay, moving on to some books that I've recently been sent by The Works, which literally, what is my life? How is this happening? How is this happening? They basically reached out and asked if they could send me some of their new spreads, their sprayed edges. And of course, I said yes, of course. We know I love a sprayed edge. We know this by now. But I was not expecting them to literally send a whole box full of books. Incredible. So let's go through them. The first one we have is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley, which has this bright orange sprayed edge, which I'm kind of here for. Weirdly, it kind of gets the vibe with this book, even though I haven't read it. I don't know, it just kind of gives me that vibe. I really like how it matches her writing and also the candles. I like the complementary colours going on. And this book has been on my radar for a while. I really like Lucy Foley's books. I think I've read all of her books, actually. I think. Let me have a look. No, I haven't. I haven't. I've read half of them. Oh my god, I did not realise she had so many books. I've read The Hunting Party, The Guest List and The Paris Apartment. All of her books have a very similar style of storytelling, just in the way that we get a list of characters, they're all kind of suspects, and it's usually all set in like one place. This one looks very similar in that this one is set at Manor Hotel, and there's this big summer feast that's happening, and it says this isn't a celebration but a deadly reunion. I'm excited for this one, and I always find her books very fast-paced and easy to read and very gripping. And if you're wondering, The Guest List is my favourite by her, just in case you're wondering. And then we have The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I've been so excited for this one. I was literally waiting for it to come out in paperback to buy it, and the fact that I've been sent it is literally perfect. This one, I love the sprayed edges on this. I love how it matches the front. I love it. I believe that this is a YA romantasy, I want to say. In a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake of all is falling in love. Sold. Sold. And it's also an enemies to lovers as well, of course. There's also a map in the front, which we love. I'm very excited for this one. And then we have Four Ruined Realms. This one seems really familiar to me, and I think, yeah, it's the second one. I think it's the second. Or it's in the series, To Five Broken Blades, which is on the back there. I don't know if you can see that. But I think this is the second, or definitely in the series, for that book. First of all, the sprayed edges, stunning. I don't think I can read this one before I read 5 Broken Blades. Let me know. If anybody knows, let me know. And then we have The Sky on Fire, again with the sprayed edges. This one is a fantasy heist story, has dragons in. Do we need to know anymore? It has dragons in. And the vibe that I'm getting is that it's a group of misfits on a mission. That's the vibe that I'm getting. But add dragons in there. Love. And then we have Ride the Wave, which I love the edges on this one, so summery, I love. This one we follow Leo, who was a world champion surfer, and then we follow Iris, who is a sports journalist, and she's just got a job working for this magazine, but Leo's mum is the owner of the magazine, so she can't possibly get with her boss's son. Can she? Can she? And she's been sent to uncover the truth behind Leo's infamous past. And then we have Book Boyfriend by Lucy Vine, another one that I've been so excited to read. I read 7 Exes by Lucy Vine a couple of years ago actually, but ever since then I wanted to read another one of her books. I just feel like they have such a good rom-com feel-good feel. And this one, I love the sprayed edges with the books. I love. And this one follows Gemma, who finds a note from a stranger in a library book, and she replies, and they start to have this long-standing conversation back and forth in notes, which I love that whole concept. I love it. It's very much giving Dash and Lily. If anybody's seen that series, it's very much giving that. Oh, I think this is like a sister situation. Yeah, so we have twin sister Clara, who basically becomes obsessed with this new actor who is starring in a TV adaptation of her twin Gemma's favourite book. Okay, so the favourite book kind of links these stories together, but they both basically fall in love for men that they've never met. Okay, that seems really interesting, and I'm wondering why it's like a sister dynamic situation, but I'm here for it. I'm ready to find out. And then we have Teacher of the Year with these teal sprayed edges. This one we follow Marvin, who is a teacher, and he's basically welcoming this new student one day to his class, and in behind the student follows her dad, who he likes the look of. He likes the look of. And I think it's about the balance of putting his students first, but also having a life outside of the classroom. Next we have The New Neighbours by Claire Douglas with these yellow sprayed edges. I believe this is a psychological thriller, mystery thriller. I've read The Woman Who Lied by Claire Douglas, and I do remember enjoying that. I don't actually remember too much about that book, but I remember it being quite fast paced and just a really easy, bingeable kind of read. This one, our main character overhears a conversation she shouldn't have. She's sure her new neighbours are planning a crime. Okay, I'm intrigued. The more she investigates, the worse her suspicions. Okay, I really like that concept. I really like that. I'm excited for this one. And then we have Write Me For You by Tilly Cole. I believe that this is her newest book, which I didn't even know was coming out, so that's exciting. This one has a little ombre sprayed edge going on. I sounded just like that. A little blue going on. For the Teen Vogue party. This one follows 17-year-old June, who has always dreamed of becoming a novelist. And I think this is giving another sad one, another sad romance. Kind of similar vibe to A Thousand Boy Kisses, just in the fact that she has never been in love and she's received some devastating news. And she meets Jessie, who treats every day as if it could be her last, which could be true for both of them. It's very much giving a similar vibe. If you liked A Thousand Boy Kisses, I think you might also like this one. And then finally we have Rewitched, which I am so excited about. This one, I kid you not, I was in the works the other day before this parcel arrived and I so nearly bought this one, and I just kept thinking I'm gonna buy it closer to autumn time. And then a couple of days later it showed up in this box, which I'm so happy about. This one we have the sprayed edges with the little cat, which I think is so cute. I remember this coming out in hardback and it was very much on my radar because I just absolutely loved the sound of it. We basically have Belladonna, and I believe that she's a witch. And it's about to be her 30th birthday, where I believe that there's some trials that she has to pass in order to prove her worthiness as a witch. I think that sounds so fun, and I think this is going to be perfect for autumn Halloween time, and I'm so excited about this. So excited. I feel like it's just going to be the perfect little cozy witchy read, which I'm here for. And then for a couple of books that I've actually picked up recently, I actually haven't been book shopping in a while or bought any books really. I bought the occasional one here and there. But the two that I bought recently, first one is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This was £15, but I don't have the sticker on anymore. This one was from The Works. And all the shops that have sprayed edges of this book have different sprayed edges, which I think is so fun. So the Works one is this little tally mark going on, which matches the actual hardcover. And then I believe that the Waterstones one is like a blood splatter on there. But if you do prefer that one, it was like £4 off, so it was like £16, which is very similar to this one, which was £15. This is actually my current read, which I'm filming for a vlog, which is coming very soon. And I bought this one recently because, of course, it's a must. A must, one of my most anticipated reads of the entire year. And then another one which I saw in The Works is Do Not Disturb by Freedom McFadden, which is a Freedom McFadden that I've never seen at The Works. I've actually never seen it in a bookshop before, so I had to get it, of course. It was only £3. I'm yet to take the sticker off though. And I'm very happy to add this to my TBR cart and my little collection of Freedom McFadden books. This is also one that you guys have recommended to me a lot because you just say it's so good, so that also makes me really intrigued. I'm very excited. And for £3, I literally couldn't not get it. And that is my collective haul of all the books that I've accumulated recently. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Hope that maybe some new books are on your radar, on your to buy list. I feel like this is a nice way as well to update you guys a bit on some of the new books going on to my TBR cart. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you've made it all the way to the end, you're literally amazing. Leave a little star emoji in the comments so that I know and I will reply to you. And I just wanted to take a moment and say a big thank you for watching my videos and for being here and supporting me, because I literally wouldn't be sent books like this or have the opportunity to get proofs like this without you guys, and you have no idea how much it means to me. I'm just beyond grateful for every single one of you, and yeah, it's just so surreal, honestly. And thank you also to The Works for sending me this amazing box of goodies. Thank you so much to Bloomsbury for inviting me to the event and sending me home with all these books. Literally incredible. And yeah, I'm just very happy, very grateful, feeling very lucky. And yeah, I'm gonna go before I start rambling. But thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.